Okay folks, this is Mike at AGB once again. Going to bring you a short video clip of our spray booth. What it comes with is you have 4 wheels, 2 that have swivels on top, this one and that one, the other 2 that don't, package of hardware, some screen to wrap around this booth and on top of it. You have 4 base plates. These bolt holes are where the wheels bolt underneath like this, and you would put 2 swivels on 2 corners and 2 straight ones in the other so that you can drive it. Those are the top corners. It goes together. We take 2x2 or 2x4s and rip them down in half, make them, undersized 2x2s, and we build that in this. And as you slip your 2x2s in, you put a screw in these holes to stop them from sliding out. Wrap it in windscreen. Stay tuned for another small video. You'll see one after it's done. Thank you. Alright folks, this is Mike at AGB, back with you on this spray booth assembly once again. There is one part here that you have to pay attention to, or you'll be frustrated when you're done because you did it wrong, but it's very simple, so I'll point it out now. I've laid the 4 bases out in a particular order. What I've done is, if you look at this hole pattern here, it's slightly longer this way than this way. So you want to get these 2 top corners. If you're standing on this side looking at it, you want that hole patterns on all of these running this way longer. What that'll do is make sure this hole pattern is slightly longer. As you can see, it will fit underneath of that, and this non-swivel wheel goes under this one, and this non-swivel wheel goes that way under that one, so that those 2 front wheels run this way, and they'll fit those holes that way only, which means when you lay this out, you got to configure those 4 holes in each one. Like I said, they all have to be longer running this way. Then you can put your swivel wheels on the ones here in the back. That'll enable you to drive this whole booth in a direction like this and swivel the back around like this to turn a corner and go that way. It's important that you do that, otherwise I've seen guys put them together and have swivels on kitty cornered and wonder why they can't drive the thing. So it's important that you do that step correctly. Thank you. Okay, Mike at AGB back once again. Short stint on the next step of building the boot. I went ahead and threw the wheels on in the proper order. These were the 2 I talked about being up front, running in that direction. If you notice, all the bolts aren't in. This is just for video's sake. I didn't put them all in or tighten them down, just so you can see how this thing goes together. I have taken and put the uprights in there that way. Well, actually they're horizontals, but they're upright now. We're going to tip this back. If I can do it by myself here, so this way. There they go. And basically, just like putting a bed together, folks. And I don't know if I can hold all this and do it myself with one hand, so but you get the idea. I will rotate this up now, slip that on there. Once again, these holes here, same down here, these holes. Only takes 1 screw, a nail, or something like that just to stop the board from sliding out as you're building this thing, and keep it together. A lot of guys like to put hex screws or hex-headed screws. Some guys like to put a nail in them. Don't drive them all the way down in. If you put a nail, leave them so you can get a hammer under a claw and pull them out. Don't use a drywall screw, them hard ones that break off, because they kind of get bound up in there. It's hard to get them apart. So use like a Tex screw or a nail and you'll be fine. Pretty simple. It's not rocket science. Be honest with you, once you wrap this thing with the screen, it'd stay together on its own. You almost really don't need them, but it's there for those of you who do. If you pick it up over things a lot, it's a good idea to have them. Alright, I'll continue to build. You'll see that on the next video. Okay folks, this is Mike from AGB back on this spray booth we're throwing up. As I said earlier, all the bolts and screws, I didn't throw in a lot of it, just kind of enough to get it standing here so you can kind of see what this thing looks like when you throw some 2x2s in it. Oh, excuse me. And these are old boards. You see our guys have used these several times, hit them with slap staplers and everything else. To get done with the job, their screen gets dirty, they just rip it off and put new on. A lot of guys will take a screen door screen just like this. They will put it on here, hit this with a slap stapler, take this roll and run around the booth with it a couple times, move up, throw a bunch over the top, staple it on, wrap it around the top, cut it however they want to cut it at whatever length down near the ground to block as much air as they want, or let it drag however they want to do it, whatever their personal preference is. And when you're done with it all, you just cut the screen off. Some guys use burlap, you cut that off, throw that away, and you're back to this. You know, you pull a couple screws out that you got holding it together, throw some tape around your wood, throw it in your truck, throw your corners and stuff and your wheels in a bag, put it away, and you're good for the next job. It's lightweight, doesn't weigh a lot. That's easy for, once it's wrapped with the windscreen, it stays together. 2 guys can pick this thing up. I'm here by myself. I mean, it's right off the ground. So you can pick it up over pipes, you can, around soil stacks, around air conditioners, anything you have to do to keep your overspray inside the booth and off of windows or cars or anything else. Pretty simple, pretty lightweight, extremely useful and handy. We've had guys use them on low pitch roofs. One caution I will tell you, make sure you tie it down at the end of the night so you don't get a windstorm if you leave it up there and find it in the parking lot the next morning, pile of toothpicks. But that's it. Thank you.